at home. The process is slow and painful.
After 3 days of brutal agony and a week.
The deep sea is undoubtedly the most terrifying place on Earth. 95% of the ocean remains unexplored, so new terrifying creatures are frequently discovered. One of the strangest is the ningen, a rare aquatic humanoid found in Japanese and subantarctic waters. These creatures resemble whales with rounded, almost human-like features. While many sightings have been claimed, most were hoaxes. However, in 2010, Japanese whale researchers filmed what might be the most convincing footage of a ningen in the Arctic. The video, captured by the Japanese Agency for Marine Earth Science and Technology, showed a massive creature with a rounded shape, strange glowing white eyes, and an unsettling smile. Initially, it was thought to be an unknown whale species, but marine biologists ruled that out. If the video is real, it's the closest humans have come to a ningen. While the ningen is shocking, it's not the only terrifying sea creature. The tiny, almost invisible irukandji jellyfish is considered by some to be the scariest animal on the planet. This 1 centimeter jellyfish is one of the most dangerous creatures on Earth. Found in Australian waters, its sting initially doesn't hurt much, but the venom causes an intense sense of doom that can last for over 2 weeks. Victims, mostly humans, experience an overwhelming feeling that they should take their own lives. The scariest part is that they don't realize they've been stung. One moment they're swimming, the next they just want to die. The venom is over 100 times more powerful than a cobra's and over 1,000 times stronger than a tarantula's. Survivors often carry scars as a reminder of how deadly this creature is. The venom acts quickly, and swimmers can lose control and drown before anyone notices. The irukandji seems designed to make humans suffer, but it's not the only jellyfish with bad intentions. In Queensland, nearly double the 10-year average of people have been hospitalized with suspected irukandji stings this season. While most jellyfish stings are unpleasant, the box jellyfish, also known as the sea wasp, takes things to a new level. Found in the Indian and Pacific Oceans, this creature delivers one of the deadliest stings in the world. Box jellyfish are larger than expected, with tentacles that can stretch up to 10 feet long. Each tentacle has about 5,000 stinging cells packed with powerful venom. This toxin attacks the heart, nervous system, and skin cells simultaneously. The pain is so intense that victims often go into instant shock, leading to drowning or fatal heart failure within minutes. Box jellyfish are responsible for at least 40 deaths each year, but experts believe the true number is much higher. Only 8 of the over 50 box jellyfish species have the potential for fatality. Their stings contain toxins that, in high enough doses, can cause heart dysfunction and other organ system failures. Most deaths are caused by heart poisoning, leading to cardiac irregular heartbeats and cardiac arrest. Deaths can also be caused by anaphylaxis, a potentially fatal allergic reaction. A box jellyfish sting can cause a life-threatening, whole-body allergy, potentially leading to shock, coma, and death if untreated. Even a mild reaction can cause tissue death and permanent scarring. Survivors often endure weeks of extreme pain, and permanent scars are common. Box jellyfish are strong swimmers, unlike other jellyfish that drift, making them harder to avoid. Caution is essential. If one is spotted, swimmers and divers should exit the water immediately. A box jellyfish sting is a life-threatening situation. The tongue-eating louse is a parasite that invades a fish's mouth, eats its tongue, and then becomes the new tongue, feeding on the host's meals. These parasites are found off the coasts of California, Ecuador, and in the Atlantic Ocean. The victims end up with a tongue that has legs and eyes. When the host dies, the louse moves on to another victim. This cycle is endless and unsettling. The umi-bozu, or sea monk, is a legendary sea monster lurking in Japanese waters. These massive, hairless, black creatures resemble monks with humanoid or snake-like limbs. Fishermen have reported sightings, claiming they can capsize ships. Some believe they are giant squids, but others insist they are something else, larger and more powerful, with a supernatural presence. They have even been compared to Cthulhu. Their reputation is enough to scare sailors. A video taken from a submarine in the Greenland Sea shows a large, webbed hand, roughly 5 times larger than a human hand, slamming onto the submarine window. The crew saw a humanoid creature swimming away. This has led to speculation about mermaids, beings with the upper body of a human and the lower body of a fish. Mermaids have been mentioned in legends and folklore for centuries. They are often depicted as beautiful creatures who lure sailors to their deaths with seductive songs. While some believe in their existence, others consider reported sightings hoaxes. In June 1967, a fascinating mermaid sighting occurred near Main Island, Canada. Witnesses reported seeing a topless mermaid with long, silver blonde hair, eating what appeared to be a salmon dinner. Her lower half resembled a fish or porpoise. The sighting was reported in a local magazine, along with a photograph. One witness described the mermaid as an attractive blonde with dimples, believing she was a real girl with unique features. A witness mentioned that she seemed to enjoy the waves caused by the ferry washing over her as she sat on the rocks. This sighting left people questioning what they had seen. Was it truly a mermaid, or was it something else entirely? The details shared by witnesses and the photographs that emerged only added to the mystery. Even now, this story remains one of the most compelling mermaid encounters ever reported. While that might sound harmless, mermaids have a dark reputation for messing with human affairs, sometimes in ways that are deeply unsettling. They've been known to frighten people so severely that they abandon everything and flee, leaving behind only whispers of their scary encounters. Mermaids disrupt dam construction. Such was the case in 2012 when workers building a dam in Zimbabwe encountered something they couldn't explain. They became so frightened that they refused to finish the project, claiming they had seen a mermaid in the water. The incident caused such concern that the local authorities had to step in. Village chiefs were asked to perform traditional rituals to banish the mermaid. Officials believed these ceremonies might calm the workers' fears and get the project back on track. Despite this, the workers refused to return to the site, convinced the strange creatures were too real to be ignored. The officials tried to replace the initial workers, believing that since they had not heard about the alleged mermaids, they would complete the project in time. But these attempts to send in new teams failed, as they too abandoned the work, claiming to have seen unusual beings in the water. The situation escalated further when people began reporting mysterious disappearances and stories of being chased away by the water creatures. The fear surrounding the site grew stronger. In an attempt to resolve the issue, the authorities hired foreign workers who were thought to be less influenced by the local beliefs. However, even they refused to continue after reporting sightings of strange creatures lurking in the dam's waters. The delays left officials frustrated, as the dam repairs were important for providing water to the population. Yet, with no one willing to face what was in the water, the project was never completed. These accounts of suspicious creatures and unexplained disappearances only made people more worried and fearful. Whether real or imagined, the mermaid became an obstacle too great for anyone to overcome, leaving the dam and its repairs unfinished. Since most will consider mermaids a myth, let's talk about another killer, the stingray. A stinging ray of death, as the name suggests, stingrays are known for the stinger located near the base of their tail. While they are usually calm creatures, they don't hesitate to use their stinger when they feel threatened. For humans, this typically happens if someone accidentally steps on one, as stingrays often bury themselves in the sand to camouflage and ambush prey. The sting itself is incredibly painful and can cause symptoms like tissue damage, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, and muscle cramps. Smaller stingrays are unlikely to be fatal, but larger species can be far more dangerous. This danger became tragically clear in 2006 when renowned ecologist Steve Irwin died after an encounter with a massive 2 m long bull stingray. Irwin, known for his fearless work with dangerous animals, tragically lost his life while filming a documentary on the Great Barrier Reef in Queensland. Irwin was working with Justin Lyons, his cameraman, when they encountered an 8 feet wide stingray in shallow, chest-high waters. The day had started like any other, with the pair leaving their main boat on an inflatable to find something interesting to shoot. They spotted the stingray, and the plan was to capture a shot of the animal gracefully swimming away. But what happened next was both sudden and devastating. As Lyons focused his camera on the stingray, the creature unexpectedly propped itself up and began striking Irwin. In a matter of seconds, it delivered hundreds of rapid strikes. Lyons followed the stingray with his camera, unaware of what had just occurred. It wasn't until he turned the camera back to Erwin that he realized something was terribly wrong. Erwin was standing in the water surrounded by a massive pool of blood. The stingray's barb had caused a severe injury, leaving a 2 inches wide wound over his heart. Lyons later explained how the jagged barb had pierced Erwin's chest with shocking force. Panic set in as Lyons rushed to get Erwin back to the boat. The injury was severe, with blood and fluids flowing rapidly from the wound. Despite desperate attempts to keep him conscious and focused on survival, it became clear that the situation was critical. Steve Irwin remained calm even in his final moments, but the injuries from a stingray were too much, and he passed away at the scene. He left behind a legacy as one of the world's most beloved wildlife conservationists. Footage of the tragic death was later handed to Irwin's widow, Terry, and has never been aired. May that forever remain a constant reminder that, as calm as they might appear, stingrays are dangerous and can cause serious harm or death when disturbed in their natural habitat. While stingrays directly attack when disturbed, killer whales tend to have two sides, a playful side and a killer side. Killer whales, despite being one of the most impressive fish on the planet, are not actually whales. They are the largest member of the dolphin family. Typically, they come in at a length of about 6 to 8 meters and weigh over 4 tons. These strong hunters typically attack in packs, going after seals, cod, and at times even minke whales. Unfortunately, they have a tendency to attack humans. However, in the wild, these assaults are very rare. It's when killer whales are put into captivity that they become deadly, as they will sometimes lash out against their trainers out of frustration, stress, or loneliness, often leading to serious injuries and at times even death. As a result, these attacks certainly have given killer whale shows a bad rap in recent years. One of the most famous killer whale gone rogue incidents happened in 2010. Tilikum was one of the most famous killer whales in the world. He was a beloved orca at the park and performed in theatrical shows and experiences, including Dine with Shamu, where visitors sat alongside a tank and observed him while they ate. As entertaining as he was, he had a dark side. He had been in captivity for 33 years and had a history of killing 3 people during his lifetime, the most well-known of which was Dawn Brancho, the trainer who was with him at the time, who died at SeaWorld in 2010. It was during one of the live shows that Tilikum killed Brancho. Brancho, who was a highly experienced killer whale trainer at SeaWorld, had been feeding Tilikum fish near the end of the Dine with Shamu show and was on the edge of the pool, rubbing the killer whale's head. The killer whale then grabbed Brancho and pulled her into the water in an incident that was caught on film. Some eyewitnesses claimed they saw the killer whale drag her by the shoulder or ponytail. After dragging the trainer underwater, Tilikum eventually released her, but it was too late. An autopsy confirmed that Brancho had died from drowning and blunt force trauma. Her scalp had been torn off, and she had also suffered several other injuries, including a severed spinal cord and fractures to her jawbone and ribs. Nothing and nobody could explain why this creature of the deep blue sea chose to act like this, or maybe, as much as humans attempt to tame them, they are still emotional creatures with lethal killer instincts. Unlike the killer whale, the puffer fish is not as big or as fast in the ocean, but its unique defense mechanisms make it one of the most dangerous. When threatened, it has the ability to puff itself up into a spiky ball. While this might scare off most predators, the puffer fish has an even more lethal weapon. Its spikes contain a neurotoxin called tetrodotoxin. This toxin is incredibly deadly, capable of causing paralysis, seizures, and even death in humans. The power of this toxin is great. It's said to be up to 1,200 times more toxic than cyanide, and just one puffer fish carries enough to kill 30 adult humans. What makes it even more terrifying is that there's no known antidote for the poison, making any encounter with this fish very dangerous. As toxic as it is, humans still eat them despite the risks. The puffer fish has been turned into a delicacy in Japan, where it's known as fugu. For over 2,000 years, fugu has been a staple of Japanese people, but it comes with heavy regulation. Since 1958, chefs preparing fugu have been required to earn a special license to do so. They must complete a 2-year apprenticeship under a certified fugu chef and then pass a challenging exam. The exam is no small task. It starts with a 2-hour written test, followed by a 3-minute identification challenge, and then a 20-minute practical test where the chef must safely prepare the fish. Only about 35% of applicants manage to pass, making this one of the toughest licenses to earn in the food world. Even with such strict training, eating fugu still means risking your own life. What if the chef makes a mistake? He will know if he did over your dead body. Swordfish are among the sharpest predators in the sea, thanks to their sword-like bills. These bills are tough and sharp, helping the fish hunt smaller prey. Interestingly, swordfish don't use their swords to stab but to slash through schools of fish, knocking prey unconscious before eating them. Their speed and hunting techniques make them formidable in the ocean, though they aren't usually a threat to humans. However, swordfish can become dangerous when harpooned. Their instinctive jumps or dives can harm boats and people. In 2015, a tragic incident in Hawaii highlighted this risk. A man named Randy Lanes harpooned a swordfish, but the fish's leap punctured his chest, leading to his death at the hospital. But that's not all. Swordfish pose another hidden danger. Their meat contains high mercury levels. Long-term consumption can lead to mercury buildup, which is particularly harmful to pregnant women, potentially affecting a baby's brain and nervous system.